Moon gang. We are back. We are back for the afternoon stream. We're crushing it. We are crushing it. Very, very excited for what we have in the last, I guess, hour before Power Hour and then Power Hour itself. As of now, folks, looking good today. AMC up over 10%. And honestly, it was up even more earlier. Like we almost crushed it to 40. We hit 39.92. Right now, 38.19. Still up over 10%. GME also doing well, up 5.27%, trading at 182.64. SPY turning back around. IWM turning back around. Things are looking beautiful. Folks, I think it's going to be an exciting one, a highly, highly exciting one for the afternoon. Man, we just need a little bit of a base, and I think we could, if we just turn the ship a little bit, we could have a really, really nice trajectory for the afternoon. And honestly, this is what I was saying in the morning session. It's turnaround Tuesday. Big red Mondays commonly lead to big green Tuesdays. It's a turnaround Tuesday kind of a day, and it's crushing it. We're greener. Look at all the green over here. Look at this watch list. Green, 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 green. You gotta love it. Gotta love it. I mean, the NASDAQ up 1.22%, S&P 500 up 1.52%. We have IWM up almost 3%. Green, green, green. Would love to see AMC. Remember, there's no options expiring today or anything like that in reference to AMC, GME. But with AMC, I think it's a nice psychological win to close above 40. It's been a while since we've been above 40. So I'd like to get above it in very, very bullish, apish fashion. And then closing above it, I think that just sets up, it's just we're continuing the momentum of excitement into the next day. We're just trying to string together some powerful days just to get some of that excitement and enthusiasm back into the community. I mean, across the board, all of you folks, you can see it. You can see it. The energy is completely different. We just got to build that up. I mean, especially take a look at May. Like if we look at this daily chart, look at it was a little bit, and then we slowly, just a little bit of momentum on May 24th, more on the 25th. Like we were just building up momentum into an actual explosion. We're just trying to string together some very nice, strong days. And who knows? Like I can't tell you the future, but I do know this is a good one right here. I mean, we're up 10%. Like we got to take it day by day, dollar by dollar, but things are looking good. And let's just see how we end. Let's see the type of momentum and excitement that we can bring over to tomorrow. So I want to run through Ortex really quick. And then for like the teaching portion of this particular show, this particular episode, I want to talk a little bit about credit spreads. It's a strong monthly income strategy. It relates to the options market. Very, very strong. So I want to go over that. So we'll do that. So what I want to do is kind of mess around, talk about stuff, answer any of your questions, and then maybe we'll come back to the charts for more of Power Hour and just see how things play off. Hopefully we see some fireworks in the final hour of the day. Honestly, hang on, let me just stand up really quick. Let's stand up. Ah. Okay, we are back. Nope, way too high. Way too high, Matthew. Way too high. Why is it like that? I don't know what's going on with my camera, but I guess we're all different now. Hang on. Oh well, I guess that just is how it is for the day. It seems like it's way too much of my ceiling. I don't know. Maybe that's just a new aesthetic we're gonna rock with for a bit, just to see how it really plays out. It's like we're on a roller coaster. The roller coaster here, not just the stocks anymore. I guess it's just like my camera angle. Anyway, so before we hop into Tiblio, very quick, just so you know. All right, let me AMC strong. Now we're up over 11%, 38.51, and kind of honestly, we're just trying to break out of this current miniature downtrend. Nope, that's not good. Right. This is the kind of the wedge, the bull flag we could watch. I mean, remember, a bull flag is a downward channel marked by two parallel lines. In this case, this would be the other parallel line. So basically, the stock ran up. We had a downward channel, downward, like two perfect parallel lines. You're looking for the test and the break above this top line for a continuation. It's called a bull channel because like usually you see that continuations. Am I guaranteeing always? No, not at all. I'm not guaranteeing squat, but I'm just saying that's the name of this pattern. Here's the flagpole, bull flag itself, this channel. You're looking for a test and a breakout at some point. The caveat to all of this is just how long will the channel break out? An aggressive way to play it would be to buy the breakout. A conservative way to play it would be to buy like the bounce off the bottom of the wedge. So that's up to you. There's not a right or wrong. It's just depending on what you want to do. How confident do you personally feel on more of an intraday basis? GME, kind of a weird action today. It went down, had its own little cup and handle from 183 to 183 on a very small time frame, trying to break above that and make a run back up to 186. Remember, the region of 180 to 185 is very important for GME. It can act as support, it can act as resistance. Right now, it's acting as resistance, so you're wanting this official break and close above 185, preferably on more volume. So we're setting up, and now I do want to show you a little bit of what's going on. Some interesting stuff on AMC. So today there has been a net borrow of 2.62 million shares, but look how sizable these numbers are. They've borrowed 10 million against it and returned 13 million. Short interest is at 14% now. So what I do want to bring up here is this is important, and I know I've said this, but there's always new people. So if you've heard this before, just bear with me for a second. Return shares is one of two things. This number, 13.23 million, it's the combination of two different things. Number one, shares that went out on loan, were shorted, bought back to close the position. The trade settles 2 days later, T2, and then returned. That's a part of this number. The other part of the number is shares that went out on loan. They were borrowed, never shorted, and just returned. In that latter case, there's no settlement period. There's no impact on price. Borrowing stock does not impact price at all. You're just borrowing it. You're not doing anything, and then you're returning. Right here, the 13.23 million, we don't know what percentage is what. We don't know how many were actually short and covered. We don't know how many were in the other case where they were just borrowed, and that you don't know. We don't have that information. Excuse me. We can have some strong assumptions though. For example, because we know of this T2 settlement, if you look at 13 million, you ask yourself, 2 days ago, is it a reasonable hypothesis that someone covered 13 million shares of AMC? Did someone cover it? I don't know. Let's go look at the hypothesis. 1 day ago, 2 days ago. In my very humble opinion, on a day where AMC went from 37 to 50 down to 34 on a total volume of just over 100 million. I don't think over 10%, let's just call it 10% of the volume were shorts buying, that's to me big enough that I just don't buy it. As in what, like, to sum this up, I don't think 13 million shorts were actually covered 2 days ago. I'm not buying it. Doesn't make sense to me. We're not seeing a spike worth 13 million shares of pure, unadulterated buying. So in my opinion, a considerable portion, potentially all, but at least a considerable portion, in my own mind, my own theory, I think these were shares that went on loan, were never short, and are simply being returned, i.e. more of a psychology play. In fact, it might be so much of a psychology play that it is theoretically possible they could have been borrowed today and then returned today. They could have just pumped it up. Hey, I want to borrow 5 million and then return 5 million. That is possible. Why would they do it? Because of psychology, just to mess with people who are paying attention to it. Or it could have been a fat finger mistake. But overall, I just don't see where they would have covered 13 million shares worth of shorts 2 days ago. I'm not buying it. I don't think that's a strong theory. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just not seeing it in the price action. So I think it's a game of psychology. We all know that we're very, very deep into a complex mental chess match with these shorts, and I think this is just like one of their potential tactics. In terms of GameStop, also a net return on that of 300,000, short interest of 14.22%. So that's your Ortex numbers for both of these. And in fact, for the teaching portion of this, like I said, let's talk a little bit about, let me log in. We're going to talk a little bit about options and what a credit spread is. So first of all, this is Tiblio, Tiblio. It is $24.95 a month. You can get a 7-day trial. If you use the link in the description of the video, you get 10% off or maybe even a bigger discount. You get a Moon Gang discount. And on top of that, you're also going to get this 30-day money back guarantee. So you could try it out for a month. If you don't like it, you just cancel and you're not going to pay anything. But in terms of options pickers, it is relatively cheap. And on top of that, you don't even have to really spend anything for the first month. But I'm just trying to bring up what the service is. Like I said, it's linked in the description. Let me sign in just so you could see. Sign in. Let me sign in really quick. Wait, hang on. I need a login. Sign in. All right, there we go. All right, so here's what it looks like on the inside. This is Tiblio, and you could come to, we're going to talk about credit spreads today. That's going to be like the teaching portion of today. They're really, really cool. So credit spreads, it involves two different options, like they're each called a leg, like one leg of the play. And what this is one of the most common and a very strong monthly income strategy. These are not plays where you're going to make some disgusting huge percentage. It's not some big YOLO bet by any means. This is more of you're taking a lot of like bunts and taking a lot of first base hits that you hope add up over time. And in Tiblio, this is actually the platform's bread and butter. This is like what they like to hang their hat on. Obviously, they have other services, but this is like, I would say, the main value of this software, this program, Tiblio. So what is a credit spread? Like I said, it involves two different options, and it involves selling one option and simultaneously buying another option. You can do this with calls or puts. You're either selling one call and buying another call, or selling one put and buying another put. When you're talking about credit spreads, you're never mixing calls and puts. It's either two calls, two puts. You sell one and you buy one. So, and you could obviously apply this to any stock, any ETF. And the best way to think of it from a higher level, let me show you options right here. So no matter where you are at the current price, so the calls are on the left, you would sell something that's out of the money, like, so whatever. You could sell the 39, the 40, the 41, the 42, like whatever. You want to go out of the money. And remember, in options, these two adjacent ones, the darker gray, not the blue, the darker gray are out of the money. The left you have calls, the right you have puts. You would sell one of these, whatever's closer, and then you go even farther out of the money and you buy one of those. So when you sell one, so for example, you could sell the AMC 40 and you would receive $2 because you're selling it, and then you would buy the 44, and then that would cost you $1. So it's called a credit spread because it's a net credit to your account. The difference between 2 and 1 is 1, 2 minus 1. So you're credited $1, which in the world of options is actually $100. So that's for calls. You sell the closer one and buy the farther out one, and that's for calls. Puts are the opposite. You still sell the closer one. You would sell the 30, and then you would buy something like the 25. Whatever's closer to the current price, you buy the closer one and you sell the farther out one. But remember, two puts go together, two calls to go together. That's how you form it. So like now that we have a better idea of how it's actually formed, how could it possibly play out? Well, for that, let me just collapse this. So right here, they have an example of an Apple one. Remember, You sell the first one, you buy the second one. So whenever you see a minus, that means selling. Whenever you see a plus, that means buying. So you would go to Apple, you would pick the expiration date. Oh, just so you know, you for both of these, both of the calls or both of the puts, you use the exact same expiration date. So for Apple, this one specifically calls, you sell the 155 and you buy the 160. Because of that, your max return would be, I guess, 74 cents or actually $74. That's the max return. So how do you get that max return? Well, for a call spread, a call credit spread, you want it to stay below this value. A call is below. I know a lot of the times when people are buying calls, you're thinking bullish, but for a credit spread, you're selling the spread. So you actually want it to stay below it. And your break-even point would be somewhere in between 155 and 160. It would actually, in this case, be at 155.74. And then after that, you start to lose, and your max loss is anything from 160 beyond. And your max loss is going to be kind of like what you paid to create this like overall position. So it's not one of these things where you have unmitigated loss. Your potential loss is capped. So that's another advantage of it. For example, max loss, $426 on this very particular play. Max return 74, max loss 424, and your percentage chance of being profitable is 75%. So basically 3 out of 4 times you would make $74, and 1 out of 4 times you would lose 426. Percent of profitability, your max return, your max potential loss. So your max loss is capped, your max return is capped. And that's what I'm saying, that you're not gonna, these aren't ones that you hit a home run play on. This is something that you're like, hey, I want to take the highest percentage trade, and I get that I'm not going to make that much, but I'd rather just take a high percentage trade time and time and time and time again. Right here, this one has a 85% chance of being profitable. That's of being profitable, not necessarily of getting your max return. This is just being profitable. But right here with Netflix, this is a put play. So you would sell the 480 put and you would buy the 475. So mechanically, remember to structure these. It's either 2 calls or 2 puts. You sell the first number, the one that has the minus, and you buy the second one. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. So that's how you set up a credit spread monthly income strategy. You see the max return, the max loss. You can do it on many stocks. For here, make sure you're picking the exact same expiration date. And that's your quick rundown of credit spreads. If there's any questions, obviously let me know. Oh, and actually, Tiblio did message me this morning, and I want to read this to you. Tiblio. Quick product update. We are starting to offer live classes on trading for Tiblio members. Our first one is this Thursday, an intro to credit spreads. Excited to educate users and keep them on the platform. Sweet. So today's Tuesday. So in 2 days is Tiblio's first live class. When you sign up with Tiblio, not only is it relatively cheap, and you're going to get these classes. They do live streams on Friday, and now they're starting classes, and you get put into a Discord. As soon as you sign up for Tiblio, you're putting into a Tiblio Discord, so you can ask questions. You can find other people who are using Tiblio. But this is credit spreads. I just wanted to give you a rundown of this. You sell the first number, you buy the second number. With calls, you want it to... Your maximum profit is below the first number. With puts, your maximum profit is above the first number. It's a little bit inverse to what you think about a call and a put. But overall, so basically for this put, you want it above 480. For this call, you want it below 610. That's how you would get your max return. And the estimated credit, because it's a credit spread, your account is like you're credited. Usually when you pay something, you have to pay money. But with a credit, you get that money into your account because you're doing what's referred to as selling premium. You're a net seller of premium. And there's a lot of statistical advantages to selling premium. So overall, that's your quick rundown of credit spreads. Obviously, in kind of these afternoon sessions, I want to do more of like just continuing to run down the chart of like what are all of these, just kind of explaining it. It's just more of, I want more of a, I guess, structured show of the things that I can like teach all of you. So that's it for credit spreads. If you want more of most likely a concise understanding of it, like I said, they're going to be doing some sort of live class on Thursday. But Tiblio is Tiblio. The link is in the description of the video, and you get a month free. And ooh, AMC breaking out. And you also have you have that 30-day money back guarantee. And on top of that, you could get a discount. But any questions, feel free to let me know. If not, you can ask them. They live stream every Friday for anyone with questions. And now they're starting like an official teaching aspect of it. But credit spreads, I really like credit spreads. I employ a lot of them personally. And the reason maybe why you don't hear of it too much is you're not going to get some massive percentage gain. Like credit spreads are not for getting like 100% gain, 1,000% gain, a gazillion percent gain. That's not what that's not what credit spreads are. Credit spreads are for slowly and surely building up your account. $100 this week, 125 the next week, 150 the week after. It's like a slow and sure grind, and it's one of those things that you implement it over the long term, and that's where you take a baby account to a very large account in like just a nice stepwise manner. It's just a wash, rinse, repeat. Credit spreads and covered calls are probably some of my favorite option strategies. And they're just account builders. They're literally monthly income. It's one of those things that at first you do it and you're bored because you're like, well, I only made $50 this month. But a couple months later, you're like, oh, okay, I made a couple hundred. A couple months after that, you're like, wow, I'm paying off my rent every single month with credit spreads. A couple months off of that, you're like, wow, I'm making, after my bills, I'm saving a couple $1,000s. It's one of those things that like, it's a long-term thing. You're going to get into a really good cycle of it, and they're not all going to be winners, but over the term, like if you're always going out of your way to just pick the highest probability ones, yeah, the highest probability ones, you're not making that much money. But think about it. If you do this, an 85% chance of being profitable with a total max return of 60, well, $60 if you're playing something in mid-August, okay, like it's not the craziest thing. 600, okay, you're getting somewhere. But I mean, 6,000? Hey, I mean, for me to sit on a play for a full month to make $6,000, I will take that. So it's one of those things that when you're smaller, you're just learning the methodology of it. You're getting really good at practicing it, and like you're not lighting the world on fire at first. But a little bit later, as you build your account, 60 turns into, like I said, 250, then 500, then 600, then 1,000. And all of a sudden, you're getting better and better at it. And maybe you're going to take a little bit more of the risky plays. Maybe you want one that could potentially give you 259. You're going to start to get a lot more comfortable with the methodology of short. Oh, here, when it says short credit spread, just understand short means sell. You're selling a credit spread, hence why it's a credit. You're selling a spread, so you get credit. Over here, when you see short, just think sell. Don't think like short, like you're shorting a stock. That's not necessarily how it works. So, for example, I wonder if they have, I was wondering if they have any AMC ones up right now, or if they have any GME ones up. Let me check for you really quick. GME, no, but they do have Facebook. All right, so the max return, 259, not bad at all. So for July 30th, this would be a 10-day play. You would come to CMG. What is CMG? I should know what CMG is. Chipotle? Yeah, it is. Okay, it's a Chipotle. This is a Chipotle play. You would sell the $1,650 call. You would buy the $1,660 call. Your max loss is 741, your max return 259, your percent of profitability, your percentage chance of profitability is 74%. And so that's what you're saying is basically in 10 days, when you get to July 30th, let's just open up July 30th. July 30th, if you think CMG will be below 1,650, as in right where my cursor is, I'll just draw it. Right there. If you think in the next 10 calendar days, if CMG will remain below this line and you place this bet, you would get $259. And if it goes above 660, you would end up losing 741. So that's all up to you. That's what I'm saying is when you have a trading plan, it's nice to have these exact numbers. Like, okay, what am I actually dealing with? So that's your quick rundown on credit spreads. And I like this. I just want to I want to get more back into like the structured educational part of these things. And Tiblio is a good one to kick it off with credit spreads, because I know many people who have been doing it for a while, and now that at the point of making a couple extra thousand every single month. It's a monthly income strategy. All right, what kind of questions do we have? So glad AMC is moving today. I was 50 away from acceptable losses. Only invest what you are willing to lose. AMC needs to get as high as I am. Yu-Gi-Oh! Forever. 567. Matt, can turnaround Tuesday lead to Wild West Wednesday? And if so, could we expect a Thirsty Thursday? Thanks in advance, bro. Supreme Omelet. I have a feeling that you are a master trader, because that's exactly how it goes. Madness Monday, turnaround Tuesday, Wild West Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, and then just Friday. Just Friday. Matt, I want to say that you and my interlock device keep me awake while I'm driving. Keep it up. 2-hour lunches are a bit ridiculous. It's actually still a relatively quick lunch. I mean, it's longer than I like normally take, which is only a couple of minutes. But I was just hanging out with people in the Discord. We were just talking about everything. I believe that technical pattern is referred to as a whoopsie daisy into the Dutch tulip setup, not a financial expert. Can we please talk about what to do after the squeeze? We will know how much percentage shorts covered in real time. We need to plan ahead. To my understanding, there is no like verifiable, proven way to know when shorts are covering in real time. We're working on to know when shorts have definitively covered. It's a 2-day delay. Yeah, there's some indicators in terms of the price action, like just high velocity moves that like might give you a little bit of an insight. But overall, to be 100% sure, it's a 2-day delay, but we're never going to be 100% positive of all shorts, because naked shorts are not reported. So there's no source out there that's going to tell us when naked shorts are covered. Like just no one knows. The only way to know that is to be working at the brokerage that is allowing naked shorts to happen. I'm a professional options trader. Defined risk stats are not easy to adjust. Please check Twitter. Please drop some important info about the nature of IV. If you want to get really into the world of options trading, this is a very good point. Volatility is extremely, extremely important in options. If you're buying and or selling premium, it's not just the price of the stock. You have to also consider volatility, because the higher the volatility, the higher the chance of a theoretical swing, whether up or down. There is such thing as volatility crush, IV crush. You could have juice volatility, and on top of that, you have to consider theta, the time until expiration. Options are a great tool to learn about, but it's more complex than just stock itself. With stock, there's really not a time aspect, and the value of your stock is also not really impacted by volatility. So it just takes time. There is a learning curve to it, but I strongly believe anyone can learn options. You just have to be curious enough and willing to dedicate enough of your own personal time to put in whatever necessary for the education. Mike M, shout out. That break seems to do you well. Let's gas up and go to the moon, Scott. Do you need to own the underlying stock when selling a call or a put? So that's a little bit different than a spread. To just sell a call, you're most likely going to have a covered call, which means you have the underlying stock. To sell a put, you're probably going to have the underlying capital that represents the amount of money involved in that put. There are some brokerages that allow the naked selling of calls and the naked selling of put, and that doesn't mean that you're doing it without close on. It just means you don't have the stock or you don't have the capital. That is very, 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 very risky. And I would not recommend that to anyone at all. If you're selling calls or puts and it's not structured in a spread, please be careful. Like, you probably should have the underlying stock or the enough capital to cover the put if need be. But to my understanding, yes, some brokerages offer that, but not many. To be able to do sell a naked call or sell a naked put, if a brokerage does allow it, you have to have the highest like level of options trading to make that possible. Does AMC have a dividend? No. Do you have to pay taxes on covered calls? I am not a tax expert. To my understanding, like in my own experience, you pay taxes on your gains at the end of the year. So if you're making money on covered calls, you would pay taxes on that. But that's my own personal experience. Please talk to a certified CPA about all tax-related needs. Chris, thank you for becoming a member. When you say sell covered call, well, if you're selling a call, that's a bit different than a credit spread. Selling a call involves you owning stock. This is for a covered call. To create a covered call, you own the stock and then you sell calls against it. That's a bit different than a credit spread. A credit spread, in terms of a call, would be selling a call and buying a different call simultaneously, or selling a put and buying a put simultaneously. Those are credit spreads, like what I just explained. And what you're asking about is a covered call, and that just involves one call against the stock that you own. Both credit spreads and covered calls, I do have standalone videos for on this channel. If you just search, I think I have a playlist called Trading Options, so feel free to check that out. How often do you watch your credit spreads? Not often. Like, I'll check on them maybe at the end of the day or every other day. I mean, most of the time I'm playing it very, very conservatively, and I'm just looking for like very continuous, repetitive income. Matt, what about a poor man's covered call? So that's actually kind of the reverse of a credit spread. That's actually kind of a debit spread. That's when you buy, well, you can also do it with a calendar. So a poor man's covered call, which is like, this is another legitimate strategy. I know it sounds crazy, but it is. What you could do is buy, you could do a different expiration date, and then it becomes what's referred to as a diagonal. But basically that involves buying a call, like a far out, potentially in date, but definitely far out of the money. And it's like synthetically, I know, okay, this is a different, I'm not meaning synthetic in terms of synthetic shares the way you're thinking about it with shorts, but it synthetically acts as if you're already long, and then you could sell calls against that. So for example, you could go to Chipotle or whatever we were just looking at, and you could buy a call for a very far out expiration date, and also maybe super far out of the money. And for all the dates before that, you could just start selling calls at those dates. Well, not for each one, like it would have to match up to how long you are. You can't have an imbalance, but that's referred to as a poor man's covered call. I should probably make a standalone video on it, like, because it would go well with the covered call video. But yes, that's another strategy that relates to basically all these strategies that we've been talking about. It's just referred to as selling premium. There is a statistical edge to selling premium. The last time I read it, between 90 and 95% of all premium sold expires worthless, as in, it's a advantage to be the casino, to be the house, rather than to be the player. Sometimes, like in a casino, if you are the player, when you win, you can win big. But time and time again, there is a statistical advantage to being the one selling calls or selling puts. It's just not as exciting. Small/newish ape here. Was there as much hype leading up to the June gamma as there is now impending short squeeze, or did it just happen? There was, it was a different type of hype. A different hype. I think at the end of May, I mean, the AMC community, GME community recently, there's been more infighting. So I feel like people are feeling a little bit odd about that. Like, no one really likes that type of conflict. That wasn't really happening in May, but there's still considerable, it's just a different type of excitement. It's a different game now. Like, things have changed. because at that point, literally anyone who was in it was in the positive because the stock was never trading higher. So now you have people who are still up huge, but then you also have people who have gotten in above 38.74. So it's just different. I wouldn't say it's more or less. It's a different type of energy, a different type of really just energy right now of what's going on. Okay, I'm back. Yes, runner's high is a real. How dare you question it? Runner's high. Do you understand how to run correctly while swimming through air? Well, obviously not. I mean, you have to see the pictures of me in my commentary. It's easy to understand that. I don't know what I'm doing. I have 65,000 invested all in an AMC, not selling a single share until the squeeze. I'm holding for the ape family. Shout out. Shout out to Scott. I don't care what they say about you, Mike Kohrs. You are the best in the business. Shout out, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for addressing IV, brother. Nothing love here. Boom. Here comes the old brother. The old brother. Do you think today's price action could be the beginning of shorts covering? It could be. We're going to know much more in 2 days from now. Do I think a minimal amount of shorts probably covered? Yeah, probably a small amount, but I don't think this is a short squeeze or a gamma squeeze or anything like that. Day to day, you have some new shorts, you have some old shorts covering. Like, I think it's just today, to me, what I'm seeing in the price action today, what I'm seeing on the technicals today, it's not telling me about normal. It's just a technical bounce. Like, it was just a good buying opportunity. So if anything, I think that's more representative of what today truly was. If I did go to Chipotle, should I get a bowl or burrito? Oh, bowl for sure. Definitely a bowl. You crushed the burrito bowl. All in on burrito bowl. All right. Where am I? Logged out? How dare they? Log me out. RTYU21. We are cooking today. I like it. Cooking. It's just sometimes at Chipotle, they really overload like how much they can put into the burrito, and you can't close it properly, and then it just becomes like a ticking burrito bomb, and you just get rice and beans and guac all over yourself. Told my wife to calm down last week during an argument. Just to let you know, I'm recovering well and got out of the ICU today. Thanks for the help. Hey, I do what I can for relationship advice. I mean, it's good. It's a good suggestion. I don't know where that went, but yeah. Oh, speaking, this is a doozy for you. This is in no way related to the market, but I don't know. My completely real girlfriend was not receptive to this concept. So here's what happened last night. Very important. So last night, you know me. I was in full Coach Kohrs mode. I ran. I'm just an athlete through and through. Like I said, the body of a freaking Greek god. And I get there, and she had cooked, which was nice. And well, actually, no, she hasn't. In general, there were the point of, I don't even know how we got there. There were dishes to be done. And she's like, can you do the dishes? She said, it's your turn. And I was like, well, how is it my turn to do the dishes? And this was last night. And the day before, she had cooked and done the dishes. And she said that. She said, it's your turn to do the dishes because the day before, I cooked and I did the dishes. And my argument is, well, that doesn't make sense because they cancel each other out. They're not contradictory, but if you do both, like you have dishes go one and then cooking goes down, so now you're at net neutral. I was like, no, it's actually not my turn. It would have been if you only did one, but my argument was that she canceled herself out by doing both, so now we're net neutral. So once again, it's her turn to do dishes because she shouldn't have done that. She wasn't happy with that reasoning whatsoever. She was like, in no way. She didn't find it funny. She didn't find it at all. Like, she just didn't like it. She actually yelled at me a bit and like said some harsh words. But I don't know. Maybe it's because I didn't articulate it right. But I'm anyone out there, for you and your significant other, I recommend trying that. Argue that if they do the dishes and cook, be like, well, sorry, you canceled yourself out. Like, I would love to help, but if we're doing 1 for 1, you shouldn't cancel yourself out. Give it a whirl. Give it a whirl. Let me know how it goes. Just be like, yeah, I'd love to help, but if like I believe in equality here, and right now, like we're net neutral on this situation. I don't know. Just give it a whirl. I want to know how it pans out. babe, you're net neutral. Little does everyone know how long I am on divorce lawyers. Just today's live stream is brought to you by the divorce lawyer Dave. If you need any assistance, please call divorce lawyer. Matt, aka Big Dog, you're awesome. 8 family, amazing. We are strong. Thank you. Get a bowl with 2 torts on the side. You'll have 2 burritos in the end. I have to come clean. I watched another live stream during break. We didn't cuddle, nor did I send a super chat. Is that still considered cheating? It's cheating if you feel guilty about it, you know? Tell me about the guilt feeling in your stomach. Nah, you're good. Not trying to get caught. She carries a plate everywhere. Here's some bucks. You might need it. Maybe your principal was right. Dish therapy. In a short AMC now. Folks, I am not sponsored by many people. I mean, you guys know it's Manscaped. Actually, in fact, that's my only sponsorship. We have a new, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but we have a new Tendies-based sponsor coming on board pretty soon. Hopefully by the end of this week. So I'm excited for the jokes we can run with that. Tendies-based. Oh, what is life? What is life? I'm not trying to get crunchy. I have a question. Where is my other sock? I put a pair of socks in the dryer and the only one came out. Like, WTF? That's a very good question. And I might know a lot, but I don't know where socks disappear to. Look at this chart. What a beautiful setup. We run, we see a bull flag, it comes up, it reevaluates the trend line to the T, and now we're just trying to explode above 39.25 as we head into power hour. Does it get better than this? This is, I don't know. This feels like game 7, which, wait, is there game 7 tonight with the Suns and Bucks? What number game is that? Suns versus Bucks. No, it is game 6. And wait, no, wait, what game is it? Yeah, it's game 6. So I guess the Suns could win, but the Bucks are leading right now. The Bucks are leading up 3-2 for anyone out there who cares about basket hoops. That's what's going on in basket hoops right now. The old sport of basket hoops. Oh, we're moving. 39.56. Did he just say basket hoops? Folks, look at me. I'm not an athlete. I don't know about all your cool sports. I didn't play basketball. I didn't play football. If we know the price action every day, if it fell, it definitely going back. So why are we not day trading AMC? I mean, if you want to, you can. I'm not going to tell anyone what to or not to do, but it's not. I don't want to day trade it. For me, I've been more profitable by just holding it and increasing my position at opportune times at levels of support. But hey, trade however you want. I mean, I'm not your mom. Matt, you've got to learn. You've got a lot to learn about women. Just because you aren't sporting a black eye doesn't mean she didn't beat you. It didn't work. She just broke my thumbs. Beautiful George W. in the 2 hour. Shout out to John Stafford becoming a space ape. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. Mike Kohrs. And you still smell like old tacos. 8-Man Dan. Three stocks: indica, hybrid, sativa. You can only pick one. Hard choice. Indica, hybrid, sativa. Under what's it? I don't know if Devin's law is on right now, but I think under my Fifth Amendment right, I cannot confirm nor deny. I think that's my Fifth Amendment. I'm going to use all the amendments, officer. Everyone knows law socks turn into extra Tupperware lids, so why are you cheating on us with when you're gone? Come clean. Matt's a mathlete, not an athlete. Hey, Matt, I've been really struggling mentally lately, and you help me every day. Thank you for making me laugh while I'm crying. Violet, I'm happy I could be a little bit of a reprieve for you. That's my goal. I just want to teach a bit about the market. I just want people to have a fun time. I want to, even if it's 1%, I want to make your day just that much better if possible. Whoa, what's going on here? That's what I'm here to do. And I feel like sometimes it's easy to lose sight of that, but that's the old mission. And part of our mission right now is watching AMC rip faces off and watch GME rip faces off. This is awesome. We are up 13.45% today, folks. All right. How do I do this? What did I do over here? Oops. That wasn't right. I don't think that was supposed to happen. Image. Does this one work? Hello? Okay, there we go. Nope, that doesn't work the way I wanted it to. There we go. It's a little live stream editing. Doing it live. Doing it live. All right. Just for my audio listeners, so you know, AMC is cruising like a Blue Origin rocket. 39.13. We are looking for kind of this breakout at 39.50 and then a test of the intraday high, an important psychological level at 40. I think, I don't know, maybe I'm being naive, maybe I'm being optimistic, but I'm feeling pretty good heading into close. I mean, I think Power Hour is going to be lit. I mean, how would I put Power Hour? Okay, like, you know how sometimes in, like, I mean, this was never me because, like, I never really caught the invite, but, like, I heard about it and I've seen it in movies. But you know how, like, sometimes, like, halfway through a semester, there's not really, like, midterms in college and people, like, it seems like all at once there's that, like, one weekend where no one's doing anything for school and you're just all partying and you're having a great time. And, like, you go to that party and it's awesome and everyone's talking about it. Even that roommate that wasn't invited, and you're just there and you're hearing about it the next morning and you're like, oh man, like, I wish I could have gone. It sounds fun. And they're like, oh yeah, like, sorry about that. It was a great time, but, like, yeah, like, we'll bring you next time. Like, you know, those parties that, like, I mean, they sounded really cool. It feels like it could be one of those. I mean, I don't have the most firsthand experience, but I would like imagine the feeling is the same. But I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, those things where everyone's like, yeah, like you should have been there last night. And you're like, I wish I was invited last night. And they're like, oh, and you're like, oh, but it sounds cool. Like I saw a bunch of pictures when I was up last night, not doing anything, watching The Office for the 8th time. But the pics seemed cool, and like I saw those Snapchat stories, they seemed fun too. Oh, that girl that I told you I liked, she was there. She was having a fun time. Oh, yeah, no, sounds sounds fun. Sounds like it was a hoot and a half, if you know what I mean. Um, yeah, but it sounds like it could be that. So like really, I'm trying to bring this back to make sure there's more of a linear nature to my rants. It sounds like Power Hour could be that, but to be sure, I guess I would obviously need a little input from these people, these cool kids who go to both. Trey Subway Cup, have I mentioned how much working sucks? I barely ever get to watch anymore. Sad cup, sad cup. Do the dishes, dude, and don't make it a competition, even when it's her turn. Relationships are a sacrifice because you are on the same team. Free advice paid for through super chat. Untamed Faith. I this oh yeah. All right. This is gonna sound really bad, but it's honest relationship advice. Untamed Faith, I'll do you one better. If you guys are looking for free advice, I think one very healthy thing, a copyright claim. Wait, how did I already get copyright claimed? What did I do this time, YouTube? I didn't even play anything this time. Oh, wait a minute. Was it because of the flight? YouTube? Let's talk about this, brother. Why am I always getting these copyright claims these days? Let's see what this one was for. A copyright claim. What did I do? Yeah, it was on this morning stream. Who owned it? Telemundo Network Group LCC. En video, ese fue el momento en que Jeff Bezos despegó hacia el espacio en el New Shepard. Yeah. Well, I don't think I'm going to be winning that one. Barely understand what the copyright means. So anyway, let's forget about that. Let's move on to bigger and better. Back to my relationship advice. I think this is healthy for any relationship out there. Once in a while, you know how sometimes like you're just both watching TV and there's like an awkward lull in conversation? It happens. It's going to happen and it's completely natural. What I think you can do with those was, I think what you need to do, look your significant other like just dead in the eyes. And it's going to be awkward because it's not normal to look each other in the eyes. And after like a brief period of awkwardness, calm, cool, collected, just deliver the message. You're so lucky. Like just say that. Just be like, you are so lucky. Like remind your significant other how lucky they are that you're in their life. Like you got to remind them of it because sometimes they take it for granted. Just say that, be like, you're so lucky. And then just go on doing whatever you were doing. But I find that's really good for a healthy relationship. Not every day, not even necessarily every week, but maybe on like, if there's a good monthly cadence, just remind your significant other, be like, oh, you're so lucky. You are so lucky I'm in your life. This is free stuff. Free relationship advice. Here's the super chat because Bezos, aka Lex Luthor, copyright claimed you for airing his sus flight to inner space. Apes are gonna go to the moon. I'll try tonight. You're lucky, brother. Matt, please read that again in Spanish. It was Grace. You def took Spanish class. That was good. Oh, this is from the account Gonzalez. All right. We all know I butchered it. I did take Spanish though, but that's more of commentary on how poor the foreign language education system is within the US. That is 3 years of high school Spanish and 2 semesters of college Spanish. Just really, I don't want to brag, but yeah, you could pretty much say I'm a natural, an expert of sorts. Everyone quiet, turn off the music. The weird neighborhood kid with the duck handband is coming. People are mean. Click for translation in Spanish. I mean, I'm not gonna, whatever. Bezos, if he needs my extra money, he can have it. Poor guy. Poor guy. He only has 100 billion. I don't want to be the guy taking a couple bucks from him, you know. Poor Bezos. I feel for him. Do you know how the psychological blow it has to take for him to no longer be the world's richest person? I get it. I get why he's copyright claiming me. You are lucky. If God wanted us to wash cups, he would have made it so our hands fit in them. Small hands fit into cup openings. Free relationship advice. Matt, were you the roommate that wasn't invited? It was sounding like you have some suppressed emotion about these college parties. No, man. I mean, I was like Mr. College dude. Everyone's like, yo. Well, I mean, I didn't go because like I was super busy studying. So like they didn't invite me because they knew I was busy, like type of a deal. They're always like, oh, like at least that's how they said it. They're like, Matt, like we knew you were probably going to the library on a Saturday when the midterms are over. So like maybe you were just like recapping on your midterm. So like we didn't invite you because of that. And it was cool. They were just like super, super respectful. And like granted, like sometimes I was free and it was like a little bummed I didn't go, but like they're my boys, you know how it is. I couldn't find your OnlyFans. I'm trying to see why they call you Duck Boy. uh, you can only exercise fifth when being detained and questioned by law enforcement. Otherwise, you can just leave or refuse to answer. I mean, what if there is an officer in chat? Devin's Law. Devin's Law. Check it out. It's a good channel. And he's also happens to be an ape investor along with us. What type of standing desk do you have? It's called Uplift. Yeah, it's called Uplift. I'm not sponsored by them. I don't have an affiliate link or anything, unfortunately. I'm not. I get a lot of like, it's more of like, hey, like I'll email and be like, hey, I use your product and I like run a decent sized YouTube channel. Do you want to do a sponsorship? And then it's always like responses like, we don't really get your brand, or who are you? Or we don't feel comfortable responding to this email. That's kind of like, I don't know, the terminology and the common responses I have to deal with when I talk to sponsors. We don't really get you, or please stop emailing us. We're not going to make a Cheez-It based on your face, or hey, we think you might have an unhealthy relationship with sangria and we don't really feel the most comfortable with you promoting our product, or please stop asking for a free Toyota Corolla. You're a nobody. I don't know. I don't want to drop any names of who I have and haven't reached out to, but those are just some common responses I get. Just completely hiding the name of these companies, or, you guys get it. Please stop. We've already told you no. I'm like, you just want to see how consistent I can be. And they're like, no, seriously, stop. I'm like, oh. wink, and they're like, we didn't say wink. They never really go the best, those sponsorship calls for me. It comes down to, I'm like, hey, can I write the pitch? And they're like, no, we have like an entire team that writes copyright for us, and like we think this does it best. And I'm like, yeah, but like it's not funny. And they're like, but we're not going for funny. I'm like, yeah, but you should be if you want to sell product. And they're like, oh, we don't want to do that. It's a lot of give and take. And by that, I mean, it's like I give them a lot of crazy bombastic comments and advice that they like did not ask for in any way. And then they ghost me. So that's kind of like the give and take relationship I have with sponsors. They don't give me anything and they don't take my advice. That's the give and take relationship I have with sponsors. Oh, man. Is their response ever, half of us are divorced based on your free relationship advice? We'd prefer to keep our distance. Vamos. I feel like this Spanish-based super chat is something I should not read aloud. I don't know what it means, but it seems provocative. They call me Duck Boy Manscaped. We got the one boys. I'll be honest, Power Hour has always not been that powerful. Hey, well, Chris, maybe today's the day. Today's the day. What was this one? Oh, someone got deleted. You're making 0 cents, bud. You're laughing at yourself. I mean, well, if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? It's called... It's being psychologically healthy, you know? You can't laugh at anyone else until you can laugh at yourself. So in a new account, Jackie Daytona is Matt Kohrs' boyfriend. Jackie Daytona is your boyfriend. I prefer man friend. Jackie Daytona is my man friend. Let's give Jackie a little bit of respect in this place. He's not a boy, he's a man. He's a chiseled Greek statue of a man. He's my man friend. Everyone, please welcome pre-infiltrated Matt, aka El Tigre, aka Duck Lord, aka Agile Chris Hemsworth of the stock market. He will be our tour guide to the moon. Muy bien. Feels great to be back. We're moving. I'll be in Philly tomorrow, Friday, man. Staying in Center City at the Four Seasons. Would be awesome to buy you a beer. Thoughts? I think I'll be in town this weekend. I think so. Jason, feel free to DM me on Twitter. Why don't I just share my location with everyone? Like we all have, like if you're on an Apple phone, like you could do the like Find Mine, you could like share your location with everyone. I think I should just do it. It's one of those things where sharing your location with no one is safe. Sharing your location with a couple people could be dangerous if they decide to like unalive you. But then if you share your location with everyone, it's super safe. So it's like kind of a weird difference, like kind of safe, really not safe, and then super safe. I mean, if I just, what's going to happen to me if I share my like 17,000 people all tracking me? That's super safe, you know? They're like, don't do that. Please, someone out there. Devin's Law is listening right now. He's like, please don't do that. It's a joke, Devin. It's a joke. Haven't been here in a minute. Still love you, though. Trader Mike, I love you more. Stand up, Mark, you lazy duck. I am standing. This is me. I am standing. I thought we blocked you. Oh, oh. Like all these responses, they're like, in all my years of influencer management, you are the first account we've ever had to block. Stand harder. We can write funny material for my funeral service ads. What's that joke that, I mean, it's not my joke at all, but it's, you pick him up, city morgue. You stab him, we slab him. How can we help you today? I thought about sharing my location with everybody, but then I calmed down. Oh. Did anyone else have that like awkward situation with a significant other when they're like, hey, like, why don't we share locations with each other? And then you're like, no. And they're like, well, why not? I have nothing to hide. You shouldn't either. I'm like, yeah, no, like I have nothing to hide. I don't know. I like a little bit of my privacy. Like, I don't know if I want you to know where I am all the time because like sometimes I go for a walk in the park and feed all the ducks, and that's called mat time. And then they're like, well, you shouldn't have anything to hide, and I don't see why it's that big of a deal if you share your location with me. And then you're like, I don't want to. And then that's a fight, and then everyone gets angry, and then a couple months later, it comes up again. Why don't you share your location with me? And you're like, same response as always. I just don't feel like it. Like, it's not about adultering with other adults. It's about, I just don't want to share my location. And they're like, but it would be safe if I knew where you were all the time. And you're like, well, sometimes I don't want to be safe. I just want to see what happens. And then eventually, after many, many months of psychological attacks, you finally get broken down and you're like, fine, have my location. It's like many people in relationships have had that moment where you're just like, fine, have it. I don't care anymore. Here's my location. You want it all the time? Done. Share it. Find my phone, whatever. We've all been there. We've all been there where you're just like, let's just do it. You know, you could just have it. Who cares anymore? It's just months of mental torment. And it's because of those months of mental torment that we're pros at holding in situations like AMC. These hedge funds are like, hey, you think they're ever going to give up? And it's like, no, I just heard that duck boy rant about how long he was in an argument with his completely real girlfriend about sharing his location. I think we're going to have to push him a bit harder. Oh, jeez. Carissa Woodward. You stab him, we slap him. Pish posh. Welcome to the local specimen bank. We're gonna chip you in your sleep, Jen. I like that. I like that. Matt, will you shout out to everyone on Astro's stream? Shout out to everyone on Astro's stream. Sounds exotic. Told my wife how lucky she was it didn't turn out as awesome as you made it sound, starting to question your relational skills. Carl, maybe it's just in the tone. Maybe it just didn't have enough passion about it behind it. Like, you're just so lucky. Maybe I should put out a tutorial video on really how to deliver that particular one. Hey, ding, ding, ding. GME hit a new intraday high at 186.88, and it looks like it's about to hit a brand new one very, very soon. And now also, in terms of AMC, also looks like it's about to crack 40. On tour with my band, my vocalist shared his Snapchat location, and a fan drove 7 hours and jumped Wow. And found us. That is actually kind of weird. Your libertarian is showing. Who knew my awful relationship would get me rich one day? Thank you so much, Matt. You're a genius. Breaking news, Matt Kohrs shows location. Stranger turns up his skin into a house coat. Just explain to her that it would be like opening a short position on our relationship. Why don't you share your location? Sometimes I like to go for a walk and feed the ducks at the strip club or park. I shared my location with my wife. Now she's my ex-wife. Maybe because she saw I was at Brandy's in Canada when I told her I was going out for milk. Enjoy every moment you can now while you can still go out and not be mobbed. Soon you will not be able to go anywhere without paparazzi. Hodl. I was in Atlantic City this past weekend, and someone noticed me. They're just like, Matt Kohrs. And I like, look, they just shouted it at a casino, and it got me all jacked up. But so thus far, I've had 2 different encounters of being noticed in public, and both were just like super respectful and funny. I don't know. It was fun. I thought it was fun. So shout out. You know who you are. If you happen to be listening right now, I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking to nobody. Maybe said person is not on the stream, but it was fun. So you have a sponsor that provides you with a lifetime supply of ball deodorant. Come on, bro. What more do you need? Not much. That's why I don't change my style. I'm like, hey, I hit like the sponsorship. Well, like I said, though, I am pretty excited about this upcoming Tendy sponsorship. Can you write your options whiteboard to help behind you just to keep track of your positions, and we happen to be able to see it? So if I just like right here on my wall, like, hey, I just like to track my positions back here. Maybe that's one way around it. Not financial advice. What would be a good price to jump into Bitcoin? It's still trending downward, so I don't know where to tell the bottom is. I mean, that's a going question. You can never definitively know where a bottom is. But if we threw up some BTC, ooh, ooh. I mean, 28,000 is very good support. So you could take a stab at it there, but if it doesn't hold there, then you're at 25.7, and then from there you're at 25. So, I mean, I would just target the previous places it's bounced off of, with the first one being 28K. But I mean, myself, I haven't really been, I own Bitcoin, yes. But I don't really actively watch it because for me, it's like a decade plus play. Either I'm going to be very, very right or very, very wrong. But I don't really get tied up in the day-to-day minutia of its movements. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. The apes are about to push it over 40. Here they go. The apes are not quitting. You're so lucky. What an absurdly insane thing to say in a relationship. You're just so lucky. I don't even know the psychology of a person who would say that. There's no way someone could like legitimately say that. That would just be insanity. You are so lucky. Man. Well, if someone does say it, let me know how it goes. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it pans out for you. All right. S&P is moving. Moving, 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 grooving, grooving, grooving. RTYU. All right, we're about 15 minutes into Power Hour, and it feels like AMC is being a bit froggy. I like it. Froggy, froggy, froggy. Just needs to take that jump. Just needs to take that jump. 92, 39.92 is the current intraday high. We're just kind of, I mean, we might as well just watch 40. 40 is the real level. $40 is the real level. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. All right, 39, 75, 76. We're gaining. She's gaining. Captain. Gains ahead. Captain, Captain. We just pulled it up on the little telescope thing. Gains ahead. Gains on the horizon, sir. What time frame do you watch on Webull? 5 minute? It depends at what point in the day. I think the more time frames, the better. You're gonna want to look multiple time frames. There's not one time frame that's like, oh, this is the best time frame to pay attention to. It depends what you're doing, how long you want to be in the play. There's definitely various things to consider. All right, let's wait for this 40. We're cruising, we're cruising. 9 cents away from a new intraday high, 39.77 right now. GME is just over 187, and it just made its new intraday high. We're cruising, we're grooving. Ortex and 69.69. Well, we're a bit away from 69.69. If you want to try to stop there, my recommendation is to get up to just over 6,000, and then everyone just needs to stop. Everyone just needs to cool out for a minute, and then it just needs to go like one by one, and like it's tough. It's a tough challenge. I'm not gonna lie, especially with the delay. There's about a 10-second delay between what I'm saying and when you see it, so it becomes even more difficult. So I would recommend utilizing chat and kind of doing it that way. Today, very, very strange day for AMC. 14 million borrowed, 15 million return. Huge, like, I mean, the difference isn't that big, but it's really, really strange. But anyway, short interest of 14%. I think a lot of these shares were not actually short because 2 days ago, there's no way they covered 15 million shares. No way that they did that 2 days ago. So this is more of shares that are going out on loan and being returned. When did they initially go out on loan? No clue. But I strongly believe these were not shorts that were covered 2 days ago. Ooh, there we go. Did we tie it? No, new intraday high by a cent. We just hit 39.93. We're cruising to 40. Cruising, cruising, cruising. My wife once asked if a certain dress made her look fat. I replied, no, you do that all by yourself. You probably got hit hard after that one. That one's brutal. I tell mine all the time she is lucky to come home to a rugged, bearded beast like me. The black sheep photographer. Matt, is it surprising that you saw someone invested in AMC in a casino? Oh, not at all. It makes a lot of sense. When it's time to close your positions, just use the code "This duck is flying south" for the winter. We just come up with a very intricate, like avian-based coding system, and like, the SEC just can't figure it out. They're just like, what are they talking about? Why do they keep saying ducks are flying south for the winter? Just in case you missed it on who borrowed those shares, Ortex, 5.1 million shares borrowed by Virtu. An Insta shared a screenshot. Wait, how would they know who borrowed it? I want to look into that. Let's see who borrowed it. Let me find this Insta. Oh, wait, that's on Insta. I'm on his Twitter. An hour ago, Virtu CEO defends payment for order flow. Of course, it makes them a stupid amount of money. No. Virt, V-I-R-T, is that broker is not the market maker Virt2. That's a different thing. V-I-R-T, I'm pretty sure. Prime broker Virt. Oh, wait. Virtu Financial? I need to look into this one. Virt. We need to figure out who specifically that prime broker is. Virt was in 22 hedge funds from Virtu Financial, V-I-R-T, at the end of the first quarter, all-time highs. I would need to dive into that. It could be Virtu. Cannot confirm nor deny. I just need a little bit of time to actually dive into it. I was kind of hoping you'd flail your arms wildly. The duck is in the water. The duck is in the water. Weird. Ortex data may be forced covering by prime brokers of naked shorts at the beginning of the month, which would instant report versus T2. But remember, naked shorts wouldn't be showing up on Ortex. Naked shorts are not reported, so they wouldn't show shares being returned because they were never properly borrowed. AMC above 40. Ding, ding, ding. Winner, winner. Yahtzee, chicken, bingo, dinner, whatever you want to call it. We are ripping. Welcome to the rippening, folks. Turnaround Tuesday. And boom goes the dynamite. Look at that. On the breakout of resistance, we run a nice 79 cents. GME cooking, IWM cooking, SPY cooking, everyone's cooking. This is like a diner in the morning in the deep south. We're cooking up some French toast, folks. Us apes have evolved. We have wings. They're like, what was that? Are you saying that they don't cook a lot in northern diners? Yeah, I am saying that they cook more food in southern diners. I don't know if it's true, but I'm just going to say it. I feel like if we say it enough, it becomes true. We need stats on where most French toast is cooked. It definitely feels like a southern state type of a thing. All right. We're crushing it. IWM. Looking for that. Ooh. Power hour. I'm in. Wait, who is this one? Same civil ball. We have wings. So I want to look into this Virt thing. The U.S. financial industry, FINRA, has fined Virtu, an over-the-counter and market-making service provider, with $175,000 for its failure to offer the best execution to its customers. Yes. Virtu settle FINRA probe order execution. I just don't know if Virt, V-I-R-T, is also Virt. It very well could be. Like, it's oddly close. Like, it would make sense that VRT is like the symbol as a broker for Virtu. But in that capacity, like, Virtu is a market maker, not a prime broker. So if this is coming across, they just bought a lot as a prime or excuse me, as a market maker, not a prime broker. Power hour on the train. Shout out to Chris, OG supporter. All right, can we hear 41? Remember, mega breakout closer to 42. The region of resistance is like mid 38s all the way up to 42. I said it's a nice psychological win to be above 40. It's a nice technical win to close out above 42. What else do we have here? Yeah, I'm gonna look into the vert thing post stream. All right, let's get a good. Good duck-based GIF. $41. Dingity ding ding ding. Dingaroo. Ooh. 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 All right, 42, 42. Well, we are cruising today, folks. Cruising for a hedge fund bruising. I mean, honestly, this in itself is a big technical breakout. Whoa, 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 whoa. 42.76 we should pay attention to. We should pay attention to 42. So between 42, 42.76, also around, what is this? 45. Okay. I mean, in general, there is some technical resistance, but the next big watch, I suppose, is 50. I would like it above 42, 43. I mean, obviously, every dollar is important, but in terms of like me trying to predict where other people will be actively reacting to, we have this around 47.70, 47.5. 50 is very important. That's a huge technical level, huge psychological level. A couple things going on there, but we're cruising today. It's a good day. It's a good day to be an ape. This is what happens when you get back to the basics, folks. This is what happens when you get back to the basics. Anyone notice the lack in chat FUD right now? I mean, yeah, this is how you're gonna. This is how these like FUD spreaders are. They're just, I don't know. They get real loud mouths, and they don't stick to their convictions when things are moving against them. That's for sure. I don't want to get people's hopes up, but the parabolic arc is looking pretty realistic by now. Would you agree? Yeah, I mean, that's what my update video was on, was we had the culmination of a George W on the 2 and or 4 hour chart, plus the parabolic arc. So the question is really like, where's the bounce going to go to? What kind of momentum can it possibly generate? Are they covering or something with this quick spike? There's really no way to be 100% sure. Just someone's buying. It could be FOMO buying. It could be some shorts covering. It could be the combination. All we know is it boils down to a hefty amount of buying. I bought 440 call options this morning, expiring Friday. Would you sell those now or hold them for a while? for this Friday on the 40s, I mean, it's up to you. It's just like, are you betting on like another massive day tomorrow? If you're very confident about tomorrow, you could ride it out. It's up to you and your conviction in the very short term, not necessarily your conviction in the trade overall. Obviously, you're an ape. I get that, but it's your conviction kind of on the next trading day, especially if you're playing it for this Friday. If you're a little bit hesitant, what you could do is roll it. I mean, you could roll it to another week's expiration if you just want more time. I mean, you're up probably a very good percentage right now, but please be mindful of theta decay. Would you hold 33 calls for Friday? I mean, you're deep in the money, so that's a bit of a different situation. You could, I mean, remember, you don't have to buy or sell all at once. You can do a portion. If you're a little bit hesitant, why not take half of it off the table or turn half of it right into shares? Remember, you could do a bit of a combo play. Like, you don't have to do all in at once and all out at once. Sometimes like pyramiding in, pyramiding it out, like scaling in, scaling out, whatever you want to call it, that could be hugely beneficial. All right, we're above 42. We hit 42.12. We're rocking it. We're rocking it. I got fudded by during the drop, I'll admit, but you encouraged me and taught me more about diamond handing. I've learned my lesson. Thank you, Duck Boy. 61 retrace usually goes to 161% extension. I think that puts it around the 130 price point. If that plays out, price points can never be called though. I own a call option. If I take the gains and sell it with a closed position, button, is that for Webull desktop or how do I roll? To roll, you would just close one and buy the next. Webull doesn't have like a roll option. You would just close one and buy another one. Or like, remember, you don't necessarily have to go into options. Like you could do some options, shares, you could do completely shares. Like it's up to you on how you want to play it. Boom. Mr. T. Gray, with all the shares borrowed today and SSR removed tomorrow, can we expect price walk down, not financial advice? I mean, I wouldn't expect anything. I would come in and just say like, okay, like how is today potentially going to play out? Take it for what the day is. I mean, today is setting up for a very nice momentum play into the next day. Here's the 4-hour chart. Look at this double bottom bounce, like the full W. Well, you could argue the W is at 50. You could argue it's at 55. You could argue it's back up to 61. It's like, how big do you want the W to be? Because they so perfectly walked it down. So for me, I think this sets up a very realistic potential test and breakthrough of 50 tomorrow if we continue with this type of momentum. Am I guaranteeing that? Absolutely not. I'm just saying, hey, it's sold off for days, many, many days, and it looks like the bulls and the apes are back in the driver's seat. So it's time to see what type of momentum they can like possibly put together. Shout out it earlier. Expected a big push to 40, 2.5 million shares needed hedging for. Hopefully this will help push it into the mid 40s by end of day. Oh, brother. I mean, honestly, every cent we go higher is clearly better, but I am like a close above 40 is a huge psychological win, and really above the 40 to 42 region, I would say is a big technical win. Not necessarily in the options market because AMC options are not expiring today, but AMC's up 20%. I mean, GME's up 10%. Don't sleep on GME. This is a huge win. I mean, across the market, SPY's pushing, IWM's pushing. This is good stuff. It's good stuff. It's just to see how well can we capitalize on the momentum. Did you get back into options? What price points, expirations? As of now, I don't. I did not. I got some extra shares the other day, so I have thousands of AMC shares. As of now, I have not re-entered into my options play. Should I have? Probably. But I just didn't. I guess I wasn't thinking. With options, I usually like to get my game plan ready like the night before of like, okay, I'm paying attention to volatility. I'm paying attention to what theta is. I want to see the size in the market in general of who's playing options. Today, just like, I don't I don't like just randomly doing, especially options. If I'm playing serious money, if I'm going to do like a 5-figure options bet, I like to have a little bit of like prep before it to be prepared of like, okay, that morning I'm like, okay, if this and this happens, I'll enter here. And today, like I just wasn't ready for it. I didn't have a proper trading plan in place. And sometimes when I don't have a proper trading plan, if I still see opportunity, it's just easier to get shares. But hey, if this volume and volatility continues, it might be the time to like hopefully make some extra money off of options that I could just then exercise straight into shares. But for now, all in shares. It's just been easier in the current volatility environment. Matt, would you look at the volume, and in your opinion, would that be them covering? Seems low volume for that, maybe a small account. That's what I was saying of like, if someone's covering, like we're never going to definitively know. We could just put out our best theory, our best hypothesis. If someone were covering, it would be small. I mean, the volume's good now, 142. If someone's covering, it's small time today. It's a small time. Maybe it, like you said, it could be a small short. We're going to have the answer in 2 days of what did or didn't happen today. I mean, a 21% run. Yeah, I bet some of like the weaker shorts were like, we don't want to deal with this. You could have our million shares back, something like that, like a smaller fund who's like, this is stupid. Why did we even try to chase this play? That's possible. But to me, just to reiterate, what I see today is much more of a technical good buy. It was at support. We have the parabolic arc. It was a George W. The RSI was oversold. There were so many technical things going on that it was just a good buy. It really was. It was just a good technical buy. Consolidation over 41.42 into the market close would be a cherry on top of a great day for AMC. Shout out to Jay Carter. Moon Gang, major champ to ground control. All systems are go for liftoff. Hi, Matt. Gorilla hug, no FUD. Shout out. Shout out. My $15 calls are looking awesome right now. You're crushing it, Sleigh Rider. Any thoughts on buying Amazon? As of right now, I haven't checked out Amazon's daily chart. I mean, if you did it, it is a bounce off of 3,500 psychological level, a good candle reversion, bouncing off previous resistance. If you're okay with risking that, it's a good buy. Like if you're okay with risking roughly $100 per share for potentially riding up, the risk reward is there, but also Amazon's not the cheapest stock. I have no Amazon position, but from a technical perspective, what you're seeing in the chart is definitely bullish. Oh man, AMC is looking good. GME looking good. IWM looking good. SPY taking a breather, but this is why IWM in terms of AMC is probably a better watch. Cruising. I'm going to look into that vert thing. Yeah, I got a copyright strike from whatever, some Spanish, whatever. It happens. It happens. Just to imagine they could have covered at 31, but no, they will never learn. Looks like Iceberg Research is closing their position. Don't forget to tweet them out, Matt. Matt, can it squeeze from these levels, or do you feel like it will have to go back up to 60 plus? I mean, it could be the start. Like it could be like something that kind of starts tipping it. it doesn't necessarily like, it's not like, oh, the squeeze can't happen until this level. It's more of like just a momentum buildup. I mean, look at what happened if you scroll back out to May. I mean, you could argue the day that started it all was May 24th. Like, and this was a day, but it's like what it led to. So could yesterday have been like, oh, okay, it kind of started and then the momentum got bigger and then even bigger and then even bigger? Yeah, that's all possible. So it's kind of hard to say, like, it's just more of like, okay, what actually started it? Are you looking for the mega day, or are you looking for the day that was like kind of like the last straw on the camel's back? And then from there, like, it took some days to actually develop, but it led to true insanity. Another possibility for sure. Looking so strong though. For my audio listeners, AMC at 41.55, GME at 191, essentially. IWM pushing. Oddly enough, SPY not pushing. You blew it up, you damn dirty apes. Matt is buying someone a duck shirt. Picked up 245 call, 730. Theta's around 0.49. Would it be smarter to roll the profits into a later date, or one more day, not drop profits too much? I mean, right there, it tells you your profits are going to drop by about 50 cents per per contract. So if you're okay with that, I mean, it's with you, like, the theta is how much it'll drop if everything holds the same. But if you think there's a chance of an AMC gap up, well, if you think good, like if you're positive in that, or if you think the risk is worth it, you should definitely hold then. If with options, I mean, it can get crazy if there's a gap up, like the value in it. All right, all right, all right. Things are looking great. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Well, sir, we didn't see that coming. They did not see this coming. Hey, you know, it's the darkest before the dawn, and maybe the darkest for the ape nation community was last week with all the turmoil and infighting. Who knows? Maybe that was our dark before the dawn. Maybe we just all had to have like a week of just like emotional craziness and we made it through it. I hope we came out stronger. And now things are moving. They're moving, they're grooving. Any news, Matt? Did Ken settle with his wife yet? Is my birthday today? I was conceived on the moon. S&P did work today as well. If it was bullish on it tomorrow, can we go over how it will make some profit selling calls if it moves past 435 tomorrow? I don't know. It depends on, yeah, Zach, we could definitely talk about it. But hey, folks, it's Turnaround Tuesday. That's why this is called Welcome to Turnaround Tuesday. That, like, if a Monday sucks, there's a reason it's called Turnaround Tuesday. That's not something I made up. It's like legitimately just like kind of an adage in the market. Turnaround Tuesday. Thoughts on getting back into AMC calls? It's a little bit chasey right now. Maybe you wait to see how, like, if you could target some support tomorrow. Like, remember, stocks don't always go up. So we've seen these things where sometimes, like, in the morning, there's a really good opportunity to execute about, like, I don't know, half hour into the day. And then from there, it seems to rip all day. That could be a potential. I mean, if I had a crystal ball telling everyone how to perfectly play today, tomorrow, I 100% would. But I'm just trying to think of previous patterns we've seen in AMC where it's kind of, there's excitement, it gaps up, it shoots up, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes in the day, it bases, like it gets excited, it comes down, it bases, and then it kind of rips from there. That's a common pattern we've seen in AMC previously. Common pattern. Look at Matt's viewer count. Yep, AMC is moving. Oh, wow, we're at 27K. Shout out. If you haven't already, if you want to help me out with the algorithm, hit that like. If you haven't already, if you want to join up with the Moon Gang, and all you have to do is subscribe. Liking and subscribing is completely free. Just helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. If you've previously been subscribed and then you're like, I hate Matt, please understand that all I've ever had is the ape community in my heart, and there's a lot of lies, and like I said, they're just lies. I've always been here for the success of AMC. There's a lot of people lying about various things that are like no way verified, no way corroborated. It's just a fake nameless account. But hey, I mean, I guess if you want to think that they're right, go ahead. I mean, that would be sad, but we're here for one thing and one thing only, and that's to go to the moon. Oh, brother, they're fighting back. Thank you for spending National Moon Day with your ape family. National Moon Day. There we go. A nice 22% gain on AMC. A nice 10% gain. It feels like National Moon Day. How a finance YouTuber manipulated the market with a video title. Thank you for spending National Moon Day with your ape army. We are cruising. AMC about to hit a new intraday high. GME just hit a new intraday high. GME, I mean, this one's a bit easy. You're looking for the test of 200. It's at 198, 191.87. AMC about a couple cents away. Hit 42.57. We're right now at 42.45-ish. So I'm sure there's people who are on an individual basis, like absolutely crushing today. We are crushing today. To all the 60+ bag holders, we will swing by and pick you up, or we'll pick you up on the way to the moon. No apes left behind. Yerp, Matt. Can IWM squeeze along with AMC? I don't know if it could squeeze. I don't think there's many shorts against IWM right now. So just mechanically, there has to be a large position betting against it. But hey, folks, like I get it. I love this energy, and it's just the game right now is, can the momentum continue? Can the momentum continue? After AMC fought back to even yesterday, I bought 35 call, went to work today, logged in this afternoon, and we had liftoff. It's a great day. It's a great day. What's weird is the SPY is still taking a breather, but IWM is ripping. AMC about to crack 43. Boom goes the dynamite. Crazy day. 25%, that has a nice ring to it. A nice ring to it. Something possible in the next 11 minutes. Did you see the latest bullish Benzinga news? Well, we have Benzinga right here. Remember, if you want to check out Benzinga, there's a free trial pinned to the top of chat. Benzinga, cool news, cool signals. You can see unusual options. Cool stuff going on. AMC about 8 minutes ago. You said 8 minutes ago. This one? David Green pointed out the strength of AMC. I want to buy. So this guy's all about AMC. Sweet. C's high former. All right, we did that. Market. I'm not seeing a major news story, but I mean everything. Like it's just up. Everything's ripping right now. Everything's ripping. It's crazy. Hi, Matt. Been away on holiday with the kids. Been listening by the pool. Bought a few dips. Could not super chat on your birthday from Spain for some reason. So happy birthday, dude. Shout out, Paul. What's going on? Paul's balls, huge AMC position. Don't get too salty about being successful on the internet. Kardashians get the worst hits and they're all billionaires. Matt, do you think hedge funds are pumping the price up just to dump those 9 million shares borrowed? No, I would think if their goal is to short it, this concept of pumping it up just to dump it, maybe I'm too stupid, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Why, like, if your goal is to dump something, why would you want to pump it up beforehand? It just doesn't make the most sense to me. Why wouldn't you just dump the shares? Like, they're not looking for market equilibrium. They don't want it to be they want it to go down. So these people who are loaning out the shares, like, they actively want the stock to dump. They wouldn't want to pump it. Like, it just doesn't really add up to me. But who knows? Maybe I'm just too dumb. My name is Caesar. Legend, what's going on? Gamma squeeze this week. I don't think the options market is crazy enough right now. Honestly, I'll have to look into the options market, but it just hasn't been as big of numbers as we saw like in early June, late May. But hopefully a day like this increases the craziness and the volatility. Speaking of which, AMC right now, looking hot, looking like a hot tamale, folks. Last week was emotional. Much respect to you, Matt, and what you do for the community. Ape gang. Gang, gang. We are cruising. About 8 minutes left. Told you we'd close the gap. Moon Boy, you owe me a nasal-voiced duck shirt. Joe Mama, happy to give you one. I mean, I've been preaching that. I love gap fill plays. I do. I just know the odds behind it. Gap fill plays, whether up or down, are very statistically significant. But Joe Mama, feel free. I mean, I need some way to confirm it's you, because everyone's going to be like, oh, it's Joe Mama. I don't know. I need a way to know that it's like somehow you. Where do you think all this FOMO came from? I think we had a nice technical bounce. People saw it bouncing, and then they piled in, and then it became a crazy self-fulfilling prophecy. We broke above 40, which I was saying was a key psychological level, and then people just piled in, and they're like, yo, I don't want to miss that party. All right. Let me get out of that. No positions. Futures flat. Why are my futures flat? Oh, just didn't load. That doesn't make sense. Loading error. How could I be flat? That makes no sense. All right. I'm excited. I mean, heading in tomorrow, this momentum, it can be rough. It can be real rough, especially with like the amount of money I was up and then was down on Webull. But it's days like today that just make it fun to check your overall P&L. Oh, some gains. I love it. Absolutely love it. The comeback. The Ape Nation comeback. Not a dead cat. My fellow Mateo, thank you again for your positive energy. Ready for liftoff? Yes, I am. Captain. Just stopping by to contribute my semi-daily super chat to one of my favorite YouTubers already. I'll get back to my wife in labor. John. Oh, wow. That's exciting. A new space ape being born. It's a popular hedge fund strategy to pump a stock after a massive red day to dump it again to get people to sell when they see green after all the red. But that, for them right here, that would be a normal strategy in a non-short squeeze play. because anytime this goes up, every cent we go up, that's higher to the legitimate short squeeze. That's a common play, Joey. I 100% agree with you. I just don't think it's the most natural play in a short squeeze environment. Because with them, it's an unknown value, but there's a certain level, a certain price level that will become the tipping point. So with them, if they aren't engaging in that, I mean, it's very much playing with fire. It's very much playing with fire. And also, it's just, if they had that much power, if you could run it up and run it down, why wouldn't you just run the stock down then? If their goal is to like get the stock as low as possible, and if they had the type of power to be able to coordinate a massive buy up and then a massive sell off, why wouldn't they just do a massive sell off? Hey, Matt, earlier you said expect Power Hour to be filthy. You were right, but what made you think that? Just trying to learn. So I thought that for a couple of reasons. If you watched the earlier stream, it was more of like, it's just, we had three major technical things going for us. We had the double bottom, the AKA George W. We had the parabolic arc, and we had the fact that the RSI has been insanely beaten down. So literally just from like a good reversion technical bounce play, I was looking at that. And then specifically today, if we really zoom out here, what we saw was, we've just seen this pattern before where it kind of runs up in the day. And then when I saw it consolidating, we've seen this in AMC before where it runs up to major resistance, it consolidates, but it doesn't consolidate that low, like someone's still holding up. And it just so happens that they broke the trend, I don't know, around 2, right when we hopped back on. And then when you see this type of action where it comes through, this was a cup and handle. It was a legitimate cup and handle. We went from 39.90 to 39.90, a small handle, and that's what a cup and handle can lead to. So on the intraday basis, a bullish pattern. On the 2/4 hour chart, a bullish pattern. On a daily chart, a bullish pattern. On all of those times frame, the RSI was so beaten down, it was just likely for a reversion. And then for any of the shorts that maybe were like in too recently, or maybe have, I think the only shorts that like are feeling okay right now are the medium term shorts. The long-term shorts and the newer shorts are both probably like, what are we doing? The newer shorts, obviously now underwater. The older shorts are like, we had the opportunity to get out $13 below our current price. Why did we not get out? I think the only shorts that are still feeling like somewhat okay, I mean, like, or at least still like confident in their position, I would say is the medium term shorts, but that's not knowing tomorrow's action. Who knows? After tomorrow, it could just be the fact that no one feels okay with their current position if they're betting against it. LFG, let's go. If you listen very closely, you can hear AMC stock saying, "You're so lucky to have me." So, couple things lining up on our side, and I think this is so for the older apes. You've been through this type of stuff where if it goes up, you feel great. When it comes down, you feel like shit, but somehow you still diamond hand it. And then for the newer apes, I think the past 2 weeks is a very good learning lesson. You're earning your stripes. You're earning your diamond hands. That's what this is. Very honestly, this is the newer apes, and I'm talking from June until now, are starting to get so emotionally battle tested that they learn what the older apes have learned from basically end of January, early February, all the way up until the end of May. And it's brutal, but this is the psychology of what's going on. With that being said, do I know what's happening tomorrow? No. Am I still long on AMC? Absolutely, because I think the potential risk is worth the potential reward. And that's what life is in the stock market or anything else. Any decision you make is the potential risk worth the potential reward. For me, I can't speak for anyone else. I know about my financial position. I know about my financial history. And for me, it's not that bad to go back to zero. I wasn't that far from zero. So like, whatever, if they knock me back, I view it as this. I have a lot less to lose than the people betting against AMC right now. I do. And that's it. So for me, my potential risk is not that big of a risk. So I'm willing to take it because I think the potential reward of however you want to define the moon, my own definition of the moon, it makes me a multi-millionaire. So yeah, if I have to risk the little bit of money I have now relative to that, is that potential reward worth my current potential risk? For me, yeah, it is. But all I have to do is take care of myself. That's a question only you can answer it. But for me to go back to that restart button, okay, so I'm in it and I've been in it and I'm not going anywhere. I want to see how this plays out. All right, let's see. Is it going to go? I mean, the fact that we hit 44.39. This is a misprint, folks. This is going to disappear. I know this looks crazy. This is just them clearing trades from earlier in the day that, like, for whatever reason didn't hit the tape. And that's why these bars disappear. It's just like, honestly, it's just, you're going to see it. We closed at 43 flat, according to Webull. Ding, ding, ding. The casino is closed. Hello, folks. Hello, folks. The casino is closed. Diamond hands are formed. Time and heat. Pressure. It's simple math. Really? Hodl. Jeff Jordan becoming an astronaut. Achievement unlocked. Diamond hands. Hey, congrats to some of you who are like, I'm in it. I'm down. I feel crazy. And you see a bounce back like this. Congratulations. And I know some of you are in and you might still be under. And time will tell. Honestly, with this type of momentum, to me, let me bring this up. Let me show you a little something. If I bring up this daily chart, oh, that's on, hang on. To me, what we're seeing right here does not seem too different from what we saw back in here. It's just, can we execute properly on the overall momentum? That's what it is. What pushes a stock up? It's the new buying. What pushes the stock down? It's the new selling. Hodling is great. Holding is better than selling, obviously. But what determines the new stock price is the current buying pressure greater than the current selling pressure? That's what it comes down to, folks. So we need basically people to be intrigued and trying to capitalize on this new momentum to the degree that the momentum absolutely blows out of control. But one thing I want to point out to you now, do I know what happens tomorrow? No. But if you look at these two candles right here, not that crazy different than these two candles. So yes, maybe it's in a scenario where we have a gap up and it ends up being a red day that's slightly down percentage wise. But if in that scenario, please remember what happened 2 days after. It's very realistic that you could have a gigantic run up still with a red day. So I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I hope it's a day like this. I hope it's a day bigger than June 2nd. Obviously, that's what I'm hoping for, but you have to be realistic and be emotionally prepared for any potential outcome. That's what traders do. You have to be ready with your own trading plan for anything. So with this, I just want to point out to you that sometimes it gaps up and sells off, but that doesn't mean that it's still not clearly in a trend upwards. So depending on what happens tomorrow, I really might be highlighting May 28th and how, yeah, huge gap up, sells off for the day, but look at 2 days afterwards. And who knows? Maybe there's no red at all. Maybe we gap up and just run like Tonto in the open plains of the West. Possible. Very, very possible. I'm not discounting anything. I'm not saying anything's guaranteed, but I'm just saying get yourself mentally prepared for multiple outcomes so you can like better emotionally handle the day, that no matter what it gives you, like you're mentally prepared for any outcome. That's what you want to do. That's what traders do. But right now, I mean, with this type of momentum, me watching AMC's charts, this type of momentum does commonly lead to a gap up. Am I guaranteeing a gap up? No, but you guys know I'm not a financial advisor. And more importantly than that, I'm not a fortune teller. But this type of momentum commonly leads to a gap up just because people get excited. They buy, it gaps up even higher, and then it just becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because everyone's like, I want in on the party rocket. So this is it's gonna be interesting. Very, very excited. I mean, we're already up in post market. Man, it's going to be a good day tomorrow. Very, very much hope so. Knock on wood. So here's the overall plan. I will be posting an update video tonight, so feel free to come back and check that out. And then I'll be streaming tomorrow. So that's the plan. Nothing really different. It'll be I guess Wednesday tomorrow. So yeah, update video tonight. So if you want to check that out, feel free to check that out. And then I'll be doing this just the normal stream schedule tomorrow, or the new, I guess, stream schedule for tomorrow. But overall, awesome day. I appreciate the incredible support. That's what I have for you. Just if you want to get an update, a quick rundown of the day. I know a lot of people hopped in at the end to see what was going on, so I'll post that update video tonight. Ortex, I'm waiting for Ortex to update. It takes a little bit to crunch those final numbers, so that'll be in the update video. I'll try to have that up within, I don't know, like an hour or two, like I normally do. Pilot guy coming straight out of Compton, 3,500 shares, looking for another 500 shares. Shout out, William Jackson. Just became an astronaut. Daniel Quinn, shout out. Thank you. I mean, all this. Jason becoming an astronaut, not a dead cat. Parabolic arc pattern. Look that up, Matt. Yeah, that's what my update video last night was about, was the parabolic arc pattern. And also AMC acquiring 2 new theaters. We closed at 43.09. Oh, so maybe it's just taking Weeble a second to update here. Achievement unlocked, diamond hands. All right, folks. Well, feel free to drop. That's the end of it. Thank you for all the support. The show is great. Episode 2 of Dumb Money in the books. It was a great episode. I'm just gonna, thank you. Oops, sorry, wrong button. Remember, from me and Chair, best of luck in the markets.